Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today on Insights with Nidhi is Mr. Markus Gschwandtner from Zixdorf, Germany, the headquarters for Brückner. He is the Managing Director and CEO for Brückner Servtec. Brückner is the world's leading supplier of production lines for manufacturing high-quality mono and Biaxially stretched films since 1960. That is almost half a decade, Markus. Brückner Group operates from 14 countries and 24 locations and has a workforce of a staggering 2,600. Markus, we warmly welcome you to our show and thank you so much for giving us the time today.
Thank you, Ms. Nidhi, for this nice introduction. The honor is all on our side. We feel so honored to be here today, and we thank you and all your organization to allow us to participate in this role in order to share, even in the times of coronavirus, our thoughts and opinions across the country. Good afternoon to everybody.
Thank you again. Markus, how did you manage the effect of pandemic on your operations worldwide, both on the service side and on the sales side?
Well, like many others, the pandemic get us first in China, where it started off early January. And from that point of view, we set up emergency teams here at the headquarters to understand the wide influences and put safety and health for our all staff worldwide first. By doing this, we could send 3/4 of all our staff in their home offices, and thanks to our very good IT system, they were operable as if they would work from the offices. So in terms of service, we had to switch a lot into remote service. That means we are not able to send our people on site, of course, at those days. On a sales side, we were happy to see that people looking still for investments, and even we could close a number of deals by having discussions like we both have now online. So overall, the pandemic did affect us. We will talk a bit later, but we are glad to have not a single infected person and staff in our all global operations.
Oh, wonderful. That's a very heartening news to hear that they were all working, and then also you've been able to keep them all healthy and safe. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Markus, you just mentioned that a lot of the people are working from home if they're not in the factory, and even the service teams were, doing online kind of through IT tools. They were providing the service, and also the sales deals are happening online. Would that continue, you think, when the effect of the pandemic is over? How are you going to see a change in the organization structure?
A very great question. If I would have the answer, I would be a rich person. But I think realistically, it looks like a lot of technical and process-related questions might be in future cleared via using those tools we're using today. So that means by video conferencing. While closing deals needs a certain personal relation, which you may not be easily able to build up over the screen. Therefore, at least for me, I prefer to be at your side and our customer side for this.
Okay, totally respect that. And good to hear that. I'm hearing a lot of leaders say that yes, we provide a lot of things through online and through the IT tools, but the one-to-one personal interaction is very important for the business. So yes, we are waiting for the pandemic to be behind us soon. Did you see a spurt in demand in the last quarter because of the pandemic, since a lot of focus was on packaging?
Yeah, I think we have seen that mostly all our customers having their production on full swing, at least in the food and packaging industry. So there was a demand in the related services and equipment supplies over the period of time as well. Unlike spare part business and things like that, daily business have been down a bit due to this pandemic and all the influences it had on the operations of our customers.
Okay. How do you see the demand going forward for the rest of 2020 and 21?
We feel that the growth will go on, although, and this is, I think, a point to be made, there is a clear discussion on the circular economy. We have had that 6 months ago. Today, that's not really on the top focus, but it will come back. We're very sure the growth will be there, but the stream of the growth will need to follow the discussion on circular economy for sure.
Okay, yes, that focus will come back sooner than later. Markus, what role do you think India will play in the field of flexible packaging and films in the foreseeable future?
Now, secretly, India will play a very important role in the future of packaging and converting. Is it either by investments Indian companies and investors are doing in India itself, and we have numbers of those ongoing, or is it Indians who invest globally and by that shaping the future of the packaging industry outside India? So both we see India as a very important and globally important country and globally important investors.
Good to hear that. We've got our sleeves rolled up and we are ready to go. Markus, any changes in your strategy that you've decided to increase the market share in India and the world markets in the last 3 months?
Well, as I said earlier, we keep on engaging ourselves in the discussion along the value chain in order to understand the needs and demands. The value chain from raw material all the way into the consumer, packaging and consumer area. This is one, we keep on doing so. Secondly, the contribution we have in this environmental discussion, either reuse, recycle, or reduce, this will further push our innovations and the network. And also, and this is very important in India, we will further strengthen our presence in the Indian market for sure, in sales and services, in order to also demonstrate the importance of the Indian market for Brückner.
Oh, that's a welcome news. Do you have any new launches that are coming up shortly from Brückner side?
In terms of what launches?
Machines?
You mean of?
Yeah, the products, the machines?
We will have some. I think we might discuss a bit of on innovation a little later. Yes, indeed, we have prepared specifically for circular economy a couple of innovations which we launched already during the K Show last year, November or October. But ongoing, we launch it through hopefully the specialty conference in India, which you are going to organize in end of August. Let's see whether it work out. Okay, and also also on the presence in India, we are expanding our offices in India within this year.
Excellent. So the footprint is increasing. Regarding our conference, the date was September. We are hoping to keep that. We've got a very good response. So probably another month, we'll know whether international flights are on and we'll keep everyone updated. But yes, we are wanting that summit, our flexible packaging summit, to be the first meeting point for the packaging industry worldwide, of course, in the norms of whatever will be required to maintain the distancing and safety. Markus, your organization is very strong in innovations. Are there some specific new innovations that are there for the Indian market depending on their demand?
As we talked about a bit earlier, yes, indeed, we are pushing into the production to support the circular economy. In example, polyethylene. I think it's quite clear, and the discussion is on, that people are looking for a single material laminates and structures. So we are going into BOPE. This is one subject we might be able to elaborate a little later, but that's a very clear focus in our innovation, how to enable our customers to produce BOPE economically, fitting into the demand on a single laminates or a single material laminates. Others would be inline coatings to prepare the surface of the materials produced for later easy operations. And of course, everybody's speaking about digitalization. This is also a push. We are going into having digital operation of lines and equipment, but also services enable the Indian operators and customers to benefit from the digitalization in Industry 4.0.
Excellent. So India will have a lot of basket of offerings from Brückner soon. Already you are serving us very well, but yes, we are looking forward for the items that you did mention a little time ago. Brückner, are you planning to increase your service organization, since you're heading it globally in India, to take care of the areas in this part of the world, your spare part and the servicing centers? Do you have any plans like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think in India, our base is set since more than 10 years. We have an own setup in India, which is handling sales, but also services. Meanwhile, it has a very strong local team, and we appreciate local teams to serve local customers, but also those Indian staff is meanwhile going globally to support our needs and wants there. And secondly, we are also trying to bring more local products. We're doing refurbishments, we're doing spare parts, we're doing on-site support in India. And just this year, we will roll out, we call it follow the sun service principle. That means India and Indian engineers will contribute to our global service setup in a very, very big role.
Wonderful. So our Indian servicing team, Brückner servicing team, will be part of the global servicing team in a bigger way.
Absolutely correct.
We are proud of that. We're definitely proud of that.
You deserve that. Our staff is excellent, trained, and therefore it would be, if available, then we are trying to have these means available to let them serve the whole worldwide market, not only India.
Super. Markus, your organization is supplying various Biaxially oriented films in the markets. What is the internal division in Brückner between BOPP and BOPET machines?
Nidhi, I think that's a bit depending on the markets and the change in the cycle. If we're looking back 3 to 4 years, I guess that BOPP has been dominating over polyester in packaging. It has the biggest share. But last year, we saw a huge of investment in polyester, BOPET. So last year, BOPET had a larger share. And this year, the first 6 months, it looks like BOPP may have more share than polyester. Important is actually that for both, Brückner, meanwhile, is able to provide cutting-edge technology, BOPP, but also in polyester, in BOPET. That's important.
Noted. We've not seen too much of competition in your types of machine. Of course, we have Dornier, a few others, even the Chinese companies. Otherwise, for every one vertical, there are so many options. What is the reason for so much lack of competition? Have you kind of scared them off, or what, Markus?
That's a very good question. You may understand, and actually our policy is not really to speak about market share in grade. But I guess what we can see is that this industry is still a little niche compared to the big verticals you're talking about in the packaging industry. So the entry barrier is quite high. You need to consider from equipment point and specifically from process know-how. And therefore, our understanding is it is not easy for others to enter this market sustainability and successful. However, and this is also a very clear point I would like to make, we appreciate competition because it pushes us to do more and go the extra mile for our customers' advantages. That's very clearly said as well.
Very, very well taken. I also believe the same. It always brings out that little extra from you and makes your own level higher if you have a competition. Totally respect that. Markus, any plans of getting into cast or blow film category, or that's a different ballgame altogether?
Well, as you may know, we were into the blow film category. We sold that to Reifenhäuser some time ago. And at present, we are not looking into cast film or blow film technology.
Focused. Understood. So,
Focused.
do you have any demand for the niche specialty and technical films in India? I've seen you have a lot of offerings from your website.
Yes, yes. There are several markets where we think Indians could look at. There is one market which is capacitor-based film. That means for capacitors. It has been already there with one or the other company, but we think there could be more on that. There was a discussion on nylon films since the operation uses nylon films, but there is no producer yet. This is one in terms of packaging and capacitor needs. On the other hand, it depends on the industry grow in India. For example, electromobility. In case the automotive industry is growing into electrical vehicles, for sure the industry will also have the battery production sooner or later in India, locally. And then we may call it niche today, but then battery separator film for these lithium-ion batteries is in needs. And that is a very important business we can see growing in China, but now even growing in Europe here. It may come to India, and then that is an industry where we think the several customers may be willingly and interesting to support and to invest.
That could be a very good vertical. Yes, I am looking forward for that to grow in India also. Markus, your BOPP and your BOPT lines are so popular, especially the BOPP here in India. Are you able to do MOPP and MOPE also on the same machines with a little bit of tweaking? I heard in India already the converters are buying the MOPP and MOPE machines because of the ease of recycling, and as you mentioned, the single polymer laminate that's becoming the need of the hour.
True. The general answer would be yes, but if I may be a bit more specific, indeed, the industry we are surfing in has huge values and huge volumes. And starting with MOPP and MOPE may take a smaller volume at present. This is why we just sold a combination line which can do BOPP, but also BOPE at the same line. So the 20, 30, 40,000 tons of year production not necessarily need to go into either BOPP completely or BOPE completely, but it can be shared according to the market demands. That's one. And now MOPE specifically today is produced on blow film lines with a small MDO attached to it. We feel that's a good way to start off with this single materials laminates, but on the long run, that might not be effectively and efficiently. So yes, we are in a development for BOPE, which is able as a substrate to print on, and others. Maybe we can have time to discuss that a little further on.
Correct. That's good to hear. And while you're discussing this BOP line, do you see a commercial viability as far as the printing and post-processing and standardizing and availability of resin? Is it affordable enough, so as to say?
Definitely. We see the big packaging industry owners, they are pushing very hard into it. If you look into the US, you talk to PepsiCo, you talk to Unilever, to P&G, each and every one is asking for a single material laminate to be able to recycle. So the push is there in the market. Now, our approach is, while BOPP is a good material, BOPE also serves a lot of advantages. Today, we are able to have linear low density PE made, so BOPE made out of linear low density. We understand that specifically the MOPE, as discussed earlier, needs to be hold for a structure on the film, and linear low is too flimsy, too low in E modulus. As such, we are on the way to develop HDPE or MDPE as BOPE film. And then I think there is a big push into the market because this will be able to produce economically on a higher output with lower production costs to serve the needs for those packing companies, as I mentioned before.
Everyone is probably looking at that product because of the focus and even the government policy that they should be taking single polymer laminates. Thanks for sharing that, Markus. Markus, what is Brückner's plan for forward or backward integration for manufacturing, maybe extruders or dyes or the other parts? Right now, I think Brückner focuses very much highly on designing and assembly more.
Absolutely correct, Ms. Nidhi. Following the policy our owner, Mr. Brückner, has set forth, when he integrated this company, we actually are going for engineering rather than manufacturing capacities. There's a simple reason. This industry is so cyclic that we feel we need to stay flexible. And we need to reply, and we do reply, and believe that the collaboration and the partnership with the manufacturers we have for this equipment, like extruders and so on and so forth, is the way better approach. And I would not see any change in the near future on that principle. So staying as engineering company in a nutshell and having collaboration and partnership with very unique and very good manufacturing partners to stay flexible.
Very well. So, and it's also quite an art and a lot of, a skill that goes into even managing all the partners, which I think Brückner has.
Absolutely right. Yes.
Yes, that is also another art game altogether. Markus, you acquired Kiefel some time back. Are there any more mergers and acquisitions that the organization is looking forward, because there may be options available after this pandemic?
Yes, our group CEO and M&E team, I think they're constantly looking into the market. The question is whether does it fit to our group. As you know, we are in the plastic industry, let's say in the packaging of in the plastic industry, and so far not a new member of the group has come along, and I don't think that we are going aggressively into it. We are looking at it constantly over the years, and if there's a partner which does fit in that pattern we're looking at, definitely it will be extended.
Wonderful. Markus, you've taken this global role of heading the service vertical for Brückner, which is like the entire organization across the world. What next for you? What are you planning to take more in your pie?
Being in this industry in 30 plus years, I feel very happy and grateful for the opportunity given by our owner, Mr. Brückner, to head the global service team. And I'm very happy with it because I'm able to to work in a company which is playing in the Champions League, so to say. And therefore, I'm happy what I do. Let's see what's next. We will see what will come up. And whatever challenge will come, I'm gratefully taking on it.
Wonderful. Markus, I think this conversation has been very valuable, and all our viewers who are majorly the entire packaging industry of the world are going to get this message, especially the Indian converters, because a lot of them are looking at how to invest their capex very carefully now. And Brückner being a very, very popular brand in India itself, your news and whatever you've shared and your message will be taken very well by them. And we are going to thank you as well as the entire Brückner team. And we shall see you soon in our Flexible Packaging Summit, hopefully in 2020 itself. And with that, I sign off. We shall see you soon, Markus. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well, Ms. Nidhi, to give us the opportunity to exchange our views. Let me just extend my best regards to all our staff and all the staff of our customers who work so hard in these really difficult times. I'm more than grateful to understand that most of them are healthy and safe, and this is our first and biggest endeavor. Keep them health and safety, and let business grow, of course, but the first thing is health and safety to all of you. So thank you for this opportunity, and I hope to be back to India as soon as flights open up. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Markus. Thanks again.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye. For more videos on Insights with Nidhi Verma, please click the playlist tab on your left, and please subscribe to our channel by clicking our logo on the right. Do press the bell icon to never miss a video.